Well, how are you guys doing on this wonderful Saturday morning, October 18th, 2025? What time is it? Let's take a look. I can't even see the clock because I have all this stuff in front of it here. What does it say there? Why, it's about 6:17 in the morning. Why am I up so early? Because there's some bootleg channel on Roku called IOTV that shows these superhero cartoons, and I can't show you any more than that because Disney jealously guards the copyright on these Marvel superheroes cartoons from 1966. This being the Captain America cartoon they're showing, completely unauthorized. But if Disney knew, they would get upset because if I've discovered if you're playing these cartoons in the background while you talk on a video on YouTube, then you get a copyright claim. They own these cartoons, which are great. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. But they won't let anyone see them. Now they're on Internet Archive database, and you can see them there, and you can see them. Well, there are bootlegs on eBay. You can get DVDs because they did release them in England, but they've never been released in the United States. And now that they're owned by Disney, you'll never see them because these Marvel superheroes cartoons show how great. Man, you got to be real careful about how much you show. They show how great these are great. I mean, the animation, people say it's very weak animation. Yes, but it's amazing. It's like a comic book come to life with such great vocal characterizations. John Vernon doing the voice of Iron Man, it was Dean Vernon Wormer in Animal House, his cat's running around acting crazy. They don't have any shame. These cartoons are great. Hulk, Captain America, Submariner, Thor. Who am I leaving out? There's 5 of them because they were meant to be shown 5 days a week in 1966. Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Submariner. That's all of them. I forgot Iron Man. Iron Man used to be the hero everyone forgot, and then Marvel Studios started their series of movies with Iron Man, and then he became. Normal people think everything started with Iron Man, that he was the main Marvel superhero just because they watched the movies. But those movies, God, those movies were so great there for about 10 years, and now they're so terrible. I literally, man, I don't, if you paid me, yes, I guess I would watch a Marvel movie now. But, and the Spider-Man ones stayed consistently good, but everything else is just such garbage. But these cartoons remind you of the Silver Age and how wonderful things once were, and they don't want you to see them because it shows how great this stuff was and how weak what they're cranking out for you now is. Comic book wise, movie wise, cartoon wise, everything, all crap. But as I say, people say, you're too negative, Grottu Orloff. There's a lot of wonderful things today. Yes, there are, well, not a lot, but there are some great things happening today, and there could be some potential. Who knows what's going to happen today? Today could be a historic day. This could be like me coming on doing a video. Hey, it's 6 in the morning. It's September 11th, 2001. I wonder what's going to happen today. And then, it's like me talking a few hours before the world changed, or if YouTube existed that Thursday morning, November 22nd, 1963, when I'm on at 6 in the morning. Hey, yeah, I see that Kennedy's talking in Fort Worth this morning, and then he's going to fly over to Dallas. That should be a lot of fun. Because I wasn't alive then, but for years I lived not far from where all that happened. But anyway, so today, what could happen today, there's no telling. It could be that today is the beginning of the communists shaming themselves and showing that they're morons, and everyone just turns on them and everything's wonderful. All these demon-infested people. Or it could be beginning of something. I just don't know because well, Trump's having a military parade in Washington D.C. So these people that don't like Trump are going ahead and they're leaving Washington D.C. alone, and they're going to all these major cities. Philadelphia, I think, is the hub, and they're having these rallies called No Kings Rally. The No Kings Rally. I keep wanting to say No More Kings because of that Scholastic Rock cartoon video from when I was a kid. And so these No Kings, No King or No Kings rally, there's all these TikTok influencers that are encouraging people to go out there and do crazy things, real bad things. So this could be the beginning of a revolutionary war, civil war. It could be or it could be a big nothing burger. There's no telling, but it's going to be interesting viewing on television today. Just I want to watch the parade. I want to see what these morons do, and a lot of them now are starting to dress in silly like inflatable costumes because they look less threatening. But man, there are people on TikTok encouraging people to get super soakers and fill them with gasoline. It's unbelievable what they're saying. These in their of course, TikTok is owned by the Communist Chinese, and of course, these influencers get paid like $7,000 to say what they're supposed to say. And it's gonna, they're kind of like that older gentleman on the day before and on January 6th. A few years ago, saying, "We've got to go. You've got to go into the Capitol. We've got to go in." He was obviously, encouraging it because he was, wanted problems. Anyway, who knows what'll happen? Anyway, I've got my bootleg Walmart Kiss shirt on. Look, man, it's World Tour 77. And 77, I hated Kiss. I really did. It wasn't until the 1990s that I began to love Kiss, and by then they were broken up. I did get to see the entire original lineup of Kiss perform for free. A buddy of mine said, "I've got an extra ticket. Come on, I'll drive you there." It's like, man, that was great. That was years later, but when they brought them back, brought everybody back together. But when I first heard of Kiss, I thought they were talking about this radio station in San Antonio called Kiss that played, I don't know, whatever music they were playing back then. Seals and Crofts, and America, Horse with No Name, all that. It's Kiss FM. I think every major market had a Kiss FM, but. And then I realized, okay, it's this band, and I knew a kid across the street from me named Scott, and he was into Kiss, and he put on a Kiss album, and I said, okay, this is when I was about the summer as I was going into 6th grade. We just moved to Arlington, Texas. And I was friends with him because he was a kid across the street, but he liked Kiss. I think he mildly liked comics. He was a soccer player, and soccer just seemed like back then, soccer was not something most kids were into. It was still kind of a foreign sport. Anyway, he was first person I knew that was into Kiss. And then I remember a friend of mine, well, I guess he's a friend. Yeah, he's a friend, being really into Kiss in junior high. But I never heard Kiss. Kiss wasn't played on the radio, at least not the radio stations that I heard. Of course, mostly I was listening to talk radio, being a very strange kid. I was interested in talk radio. Talk radio wasn't political then because I don't remember who was president. They put in the Equal Time Doctrine or Equal Time Act. I don't know. So if you had on a Republican and interviewed him on your radio show or TV show, you had to give equal time to a Democrat. You had to give. So basically, people didn't talk about politics back then on the radio because it was a big hassle. You had to prove, I guess, to the FCC or whatever, that you've given equal time to both sides. Had to be fair. How you doing, Drew the dog? Anyway, they got rid of that. I don't remember when. Probably in the 1990s, and that's when the explosion of Rush Limbaugh and all the all these talk radio stations became political, and they were mostly favoring the right side. And then I remember there was someone tried to start a network of commie liberal type talk shows, and it didn't go over well because no one wanted to listen to it. But anyway, so anyway, my point is I didn't hear Kiss. I didn't know what their music was really like. I just had a vague, I guess I probably heard Rock and Roll All Night. I don't know, maybe, did I even hear that? Because it seems like if I heard that, I would have liked that. That's a song you really can't not like. But I didn't hear Kiss. It wasn't on the radio. It wasn't, I didn't hang around with people that I could go over to their house and listen to the records. So why did I dislike Kiss so much, other than a few people that were kind of repellent that were really into Kiss at my school? It was because of Warren magazines, believe it or not. Creepy, Eerie, Vampirella, I don't remember what. It was probably an issue of Creepy. Maybe it was Vampirella. I bought those magazines in 6th grade like any rational person would have. And there was a guy named Joe Branticelli. He had a column that was in all the Warren magazines called Inside Comics, I think, or maybe it was just called Comics. And it was a page or maybe 2-page editorial about the comic book industry. And this guy, Joe Branticelli, had put out a really good magazine in the early 70s called Inside Comics. And it was like I think it was put out by the same company that put out the Monster Times, which is a fantastic publication. Was a fantastic publication. Anyway, I think he only got 4 issues out. I never owned one. Charlton 66 sent me a copy. I've got to get the other ones. It's great. But he was really opinionated. He was really opinionated, like a Harlan Ellison, very passionate in his opinions. And this one, Kiss, was it about 1977? Probably. Maybe it was 78. I think it was more like 77. There was going to be a Marvel Comics comic color magazine, comic book magazine of Kiss. And so they went to the printing plant and got a little bit of blood taken out of their arms, and they dumped, in a big publicity stunt with the press there, they dumped their blood into the red ink at the printing plant, like in New Jersey, whatever, that's going to print these Kiss comic books. And that's why Joe Branticelli was talking about Kiss. And he said that they were terrible, that they were terrible musicians, and this was a horrible stunt. And I was thinking, yeah, that really is pretty effed up. I'm thinking with my 6th grade mind, putting blood, and of course that was before AIDS and all that. But it's still, it's like, what are they doing? What is Marvel Comics thinking? Because I thought Marvel Comics was pretty sacred then. And so I said, you're right, Joe Branticelli, I should hate Kiss. And so I did. And then I didn't even think about Kiss when I was in high school. Once they took the makeup off, then I remember when they took the makeup off, I saw them on MTV, and it's like, But in the 1990s, I met this guy named Eddie Holland, and he was really into Kiss. And he was really into Japanese monsters and superheroes. He was a friend of Joe Riley that did the Hypnotic Eye. They were friends for a while. They did a show before the Hypnotic Eye called Monster Attack Team on Dallas Public Access. Anyway, his passion for Kiss, and he had all these VHS tapes of live concerts and all these videos and all these videotapes he'd gotten sent to him from people in Japan with all the original commercials of Kamen Rider and Ultra. Man, it was like, and he was a big toy collector. It was this friend of mine, Mark Ridlin, a guy I knew, a DJ. He said, one day he called me and said, you've got to meet my friend Eddie Holland, because he's a big toy collector and he's selling all his toys. He's kind of in a financial pickle, and his whole house is filled with toys, Migos and everything. And he was someone that collected all through the 70s. He was my age, collected all the stuff from the 70s, but then he never stopped. He kept buying toys past, when I stopped, with the little G.I. Joes, that I stopped about the time they started to get afros, and they stopped being army men and they started to be men of adventure. Mr. G.I. Joe, man of peace and exploration. That's when I liked the army era. To me, that was the 70s creeping in on the sacred 1960s toys that I had inherited from my older brothers. The Kung Fu Grip era. Maybe I missed out on some. The 1970s started to leave me disenchanted during the 1970s. I wasn't interested in the Big Jim and all that. Well, anyway, so although yesterday it came into my head out of nowhere, a commercial that I have to check out once I finish recording this Space Ghost cartoon. I've got to check to see if this commercial's on. No, this is Birdman. Oh well. There was a commercial in the late 70s for a robot. I think it was called Marzon, and it was like Marzon, he marches on. I don't know, but I got to look that up to see if I can find that, because I want to put that commercial on during my radio broadcast. But yeah, the 1970s. Now I look back, they were wonderful. At the time, things were starting to fall off the rails for me. I was noticing horrible things happening to my world. And Kiss seemed to like one of them. I loved Howard the Duck. Kiss appeared in Howard the Duck, and then they got their own comic, and then they got another magazine, comic, and then Marvel did a Beatles. It's like, man, it's a little late for that. Shouldn't you have done that about 20 years ago? Well, hold on, late 70s, about 10, 15 years ago would have been better for Marvel as far as the Beatles, and they did a Beatles comic book. But about that time, Marvel started to let me down. They started doing all this. They brought in the Human Fly. I bought every issue of that. He was some real guy that climbed buildings in New York. So Stanley thought, let's make him into a superhero. And they started making all these comic books based on toys. And it just seemed like Marvel was selling out. And then I saw these wonderful, there's a Spider-Man TV series coming. And then I saw that piece of shit in 1978 with Nicholas Hammond. And I'm thinking, Marvel, really? You let them do that? It would have been so easy to have the cast from the comic and, Mary Jane Watson. It's like, but, Gwen Stacy. You could have done the comic book. And they just cranked out something. They had to change it. They always have to. So anyway, at least they later admitted, yes, these were horrible abominations, these TV shows, although the Hulk was kind of okay. Kind of. Anyway, Kiss, I learned to love them in the 1990s just because of the excitement Eddie Holland had for them, and so I became a big fan of Kiss. 15, let's see, about 15, almost 15 years too late, though Kiss was still around and all that. So from Eddie Holland, I bought a Kiss pinball machine, and I've got it. Now, why am I talking about Kiss? Because Ace Frehley, 19 minutes in, I forgot, I buried the lead. Ace Frehley just passed away, Space Ace. And, over the years, I've seen interviews with him from that era when he was in the band, and he always seemed to be drunk, and he had kind of a silly voice even when he wasn't drunk. He's kind of a high-pitched New York accent, so he just seemed like a goofball. Although his makeup makes him seem like, I am the space that you think he would talk in a very, and then he's like, hi, he's struggling. I'm so drunk. He's more like that. It's like, well, especially if you see that, Hanna-Barbera did a Kiss movie, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, and it just did that, man. And you hear him talk, but he was great. His biggest claim, Kiss put out 4 solo albums all at the same time. It's like, and I think the only hit off the 4 albums. Ace Frehley had it with New York Groove, but that wasn't his original. So it was a great version, but that was done by someone else. So I can't think of it right now because I'm losing my mind. But anyway, let's go take a look over here before I start turning on the coverage of this all these No Kings rallies. I've got these pinball machines just covered in stuff that I've got to clear off, but I never have time because I seem like I work 24 hours a day. But over here, why, there's Ace Frehley. How about that? Oh, I was at Target. I actually went to Target. I got this werewolf mask. How about that? So I actually have purchased something. And I went to Burger King and I got a crown. Look at that. How about that? Is there anything else that's entertaining? I got a postcard in the mail. How about that? From John Goris. It's a hand-drawn piece of art. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so I don't remember where I got this Ace Frehley Mego figure in here. I think I got it. Man, who did I buy this from? I bought it in the 90s, but I just don't remember from whom. But it's time to get him down since this is an interesting figure that nobody has. It's I've never really taken it apart to see, but it's a G.I. Joe figure. I assume it's a G.I. Joe body. The hands have been removed and these skeleton hands have been put on from a model kit. And I don't know if this, where the clothing came from. I don't think it's Johnny West. It feels like it's real leather. Maybe it was handmade for this. He's got a, see that? He's got a gun. Maybe you guys that are toy experts could tell me where all this came from. I think that's from a model kit. It's been aged. The guy that I bought this from made Super 8 animated films, and I guess this guy starred in one of them. I never seen one of his movies. His name was Dodd, D-O-D-D. That was his last name. And he ran a, when I knew him, it was in the 90s. He ran a video store in, Denton, Texas. Whether that was the Denton, Texas that's in Rocky Horror, I mean, the Rocky Horror Picture Show talks about Denton. I think there's somewhere I heard there was people said how many Dentons were in the United States. I don't know if that's the Denton that's right. That would mean that Rocky Horror Picture Show is set in Texas, that Frankenfurter's Castle's in Texas. But anyway, there is a college town called Denton, and this guy had a video store on the town square where he rented Something Weird videos and all those exploitation monster movies, you know, all those kind of movies that Something Weird put out. And he would sell these, when he was done using these in his Super 8 films, he would sell them. And I bought this from him. And I bought this Gene Simmons from him. The Gene Simmons he altered. That Gene Simmons did not have as muscular a body. He took the Superman Christopher Reeve Mego figure and he took the clothing off a Gene Simmons figure, popped the head off, put it on the Superman body so that Gene Simmons would look more superhero-like. So that's a one-of-a-kind thing. He took this police woman head and put it on a Dolly Parton body down there. It's like he would do weird things, man. A guy was, I think, in his 70s, but he liked to alter toys. He was like a grown up version of that next door neighbor in Toy Story. He would make his figures anatomically correct and make inappropriate movies with them with stop motion animation, is what I understand. And then I would hear that guy on talk radio. He would call up talk radio stations. That guy Dodd. I'm sure he's no longer alive, but oh boy. Do you see that alien figure up there? Oh, not figure, but do you see him there? Model kit. Let me try to get in. That was built and painted by Joe Riley, the creator of the Hypnotic Eye. And some of these toys, a lot of them that you're seeing here, were on the Hypnotic Eye show. There was an episode where Joe filmed inside my house at the time. Okay, so this is a very well done figure, this Ace Frehley. Let's take him in the other room. But this one I didn't get from Dodd. I think I got it from a store in Oak Cliff, Texas, not far from the Texas theater where Oswald was apprehended. That was a store that Eddie Holland told me about. He knew all the toy stores. And there was a store, and it was run by I would say, maybe a 40-year-old African-American lady ran this doll store. And from that doll store, I got a Shogun Warrior. Where is that? Oh, he's in that other room. The big giant Shogun Warrior. But the odd thing was, in that store, she had a giant display case with every single G.I. Joe, the 60s G.I. Joes. She had the German, the Japanese G.I. Joe. She had everything, all of it. And it just, you wouldn't think that would be a lady's collection. She didn't fit the profile of someone that would be a G.I. Joe collector. Maybe a Barbie collector. I mean, I don't know. I guess women can collect G.I. Joes too, but have you ever known a lady? Would you have thought that would be a 40-year-old African-American lady would collect all the 1960s G.I. Joes? It was odd, and she wasn't going to sell any of them. She said, I'm keeping all of those. So maybe just something she fixated on at garage sales. Anyway, so here he is. That's a really good sculpt. Some of these Mego sculptors were really good. This one's in pretty good shape, yeah. Yeah, this is But at the time in the 1970s, this just didn't appeal to me. It's not. And by the time these things came out, I was in that first wave of the little 7 or the 8-inch Mego figures. Those were the ones I bought were bought for me or brought to me by Santa in 3rd and 4th grade. But this came along later in the 1990s. This hasn't been dusted since I bought it in the 1990s, so you don't need to dust. That's don't trust people. I'm sorry, but maybe I should dust him, but he looks fine. I don't know. People tell me you're supposed to dust your collection. Okay, well, I need to put him on some special place of honor since he just passed. That's, it gets weird when, this is a band from my era, and when it's, pretty much the Ramones, I think they're all gone. Yeah, they're all gone. But Ace Frehley, he had, at least during the 70s, bouts with alcoholism. You wouldn't have thought he'd live to be, what was it, 74? But anyway, these are the Migos I remember, these guys. Yeah, that one's my original. That one I got recently because my original was used in the bathtub. That's my third, I think, or second replacement Superman, that Catwoman I got from Eddie Holland. That's my original Batgirl, Robin. That's not my. I bought that in the 70s, but my original Batman was the removable cowl, and all I have left is the cowl. That's my original Lizard, Spider-Man, and Mr. Fantastic and Thing, and I've got, these are my original, that's my original Wolfman and Frank. That's not Mego, but I got tons more in the other room. This is all my childhood about that, ladies and gentlemen. Where could I put him? Oh shit, what was that? Oh, damn. Knocking into things. Maybe I should put him back where he was. I don't know. I just kind of like to have him on display for a little while. Well, you look good with Mr. Peanut. I don't know. You know, this looks like this would be a good girlfriend for him. Insanity, I know. You know, I got to go feed the kitten, man. We have a new kitten. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, last time I was on, I was talking about how depressing it is watching television. Not these old Space Ghost cartoons, but we foolishly decided to watch a show on Netflix about Ed Gein, who I read a lot about back in the 80s. Ed Gein. Whoa, this cat's gonna knock that down. I think I'll take these fellers back into that room. Anyway, it was a psychological operation. You know, they call them psyops. I really believe that Netflix, and not just Netflix, I think it's an attempt, just like everything, to bring our country down. It's not just bad television programming, it's downright evil. When you take a show about a real life killer, which could be interesting to get inside the mind, the psychology of this obviously insane person, but and then you make his victims look like bad people, and then at the end you have him go to heaven and do a dance number with all the still a packing peanut from 3 years ago. Oh my gosh, that's weird. He does a dance number with all these other killers, real life killers. Richard Speck, John Wayne Gacy, that he influenced supposedly. I thought it was repellent, and the images that it showed to me were devastatingly emotionally scarring enough that man, if any kid is allowed to watch that, or that Peacemaker piece of shit on HBO Max, I think whoa, it's just terrible. I can't believe what's being allowed. And then the Peacemaker show is going to directly tie into the next Superman movie. And, yeah. Oh, boy. I don't know. But I can tell when there's an intentional attempt to bring down a country from within, and through TikTok, through the streaming services, through many things. It's all I see what they're doing. Okay. So anyway, don't watch those shows. Anyway, there he is. Wonderful. Okay, so I've honored Ace Frehley. Oh, there's the Shogun Warrior there that I got from that place. Man, here's my GI Joe collection. There's 3 of them. And there's my $6 Million Man that Santa brought me in 5th grade. There's my original talking GI Joe box. That was bought for me about 1970, even though he's older than that. It must have been old store stock at the PX that my parents got me that talking G.I. Joe when I was in the hospital, as I recall. 1970, I was 5 years old. Okay. Waiting for Space Ghost to be over, and then I'm gonna... Well, let's see what's going on. Captain Strangelife made a new video where he got some facsimile comics from Kevin at Gotham City Comics. I've been telling people, get these facsimile comics, they're great. And now Kevin can't get them anymore because Diamond has imploded, the distribution company. So those are done, I think, by PS Art Books, these reprints of early 50s and 1940s comics. And I don't know how you get them now. eBay, just like there's no way for stores to get the stuff. Man, there's a million animals behind me. Well, I did 50 different fake Space Ghost themes, and I had them on my radio show last week. I had these robots at Suno.com. I told them what instruments, and I want, Space Ghost to be shouted this many times, and make sure you have a theremin and horn section and this and that. So I pretended that Hoyt Curtin, that wrote the Space Ghost theme, the Flintstones theme and all the Johnny Quest, that he was like kind of going mad, like Brian Wilson trying to record the Smile album, and he just kept doing version after version after version like he did with the Good Vibrations. And so I played 50 versions of the Space Ghost theme, the fake alternate early versions. I thought that was fun. I didn't get many views. I don't even think I got 60 views, but that's okay because I'm having fun. In fact, I thought, why am I getting so few views? Maybe people don't like Space Ghost. So I changed the title of the show, and I changed the thumbnail this morning. So now I forget what I put up, but thought maybe as an experiment, I'll change the thumbnail. Man, it's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon around here. Everybody's chasing each other. What else have I done lately? Well, I'm going to get cataract surgery on December 3rd and 10th, I think it is. There's a method that's like super high tech where they pretty much they do put new lenses in, and then they can readjust them afterwards with ultraviolet light or something, and make them perfect so you don't ever have to have glasses. But there might be a slight little glow around lights at night, and he said that would be the best thing because you have astigmatism. But then I looked to see, would I be approved? But it's not covered by insurance or Medicare. But the basic way to do it is covered by insurance. So I looked into whether I'd be, and it would be like $4,300 per eye. So that'd be almost $9,000, upwards of $9,000. Yeah, close to it. And I only got approved for about $1,200. So it looks like I'm gonna have to go with the method that works, but it might be that you'd still need glasses to read or something. And that's I think a couple of grand per eye, and insurance covers it. I have to pay. My insurance isn't great. I have to pay 20% of everything. So that means I guess I'd be out about $400. My math is not good, but uh, we're still trying to get money back from the IRS from 2 years ago that they penalized us for not having health insurance, and we did have it. I've had that. I've always had that. My wife's always had that, and then my wife did the taxes, and they didn't ask the question whether you have health insurance on, I don't know what it was, TurboTax or some program, and then they zapped us for over $1,000. This is something Obama did to. So if you don't have health insurance, they charge you to make you realize, well, you could have just used that money for health insurance. What's wrong with you? You're going to have to pay it anyway, but instead it's going to go to we're going to go launder it over in the Ukraine and then have it sent back to our campaign funds or for help us build a swimming pool or something. Well, anyway, the other side, the communists are desperate. They know they're going down. There's John Podesta has had this plan to create division in the United States. They really want a civil war. They think that's the way that they'll make their glorious communist revolution. And you think it's conspiracy theory all you want. Someone, yeah. That's what they're trying to do. This is all very orchestrated, what's about to happen today. Let's see what happens. Maybe it'll be absolutely wonderful today. And everything will be peaceful, and it'll be kumbaya, and they'll put flowers into gun barrels and everything. And I don't know. Can you trust the TikTok generation? I don't know. Okay, Space Ghost, you done for the morning? Yes, it's 7 o'clock. I got to stop it before Earthworm Jim comes on. Not that I have anything against Earthworm Jim, but I don't want to record it either. Okay, so I get off Toonami Aftermath, and see, it's like this channel called Toonami Aftermath, and so let's go back to YouTube. Oh, I got to take the little kitten out. I got to feed the kitten. I've got to have the kitten exercise. And came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave to them. This guy every Saturday morning runs old cartoons. This is a group therapy podcast. He's one of those comic store owners that grows their beard down to here. Because you guys asked for it, we bring it back. I love doing these little, like, the free cartoons. Is that his wife or his son next to him? I can't tell. I think that's a guy. Must be his son. I'm not trying to be mean. That wasn't a very nice thing to say. Way older than the 60s cartoons we were watching in the 80s. I mean, like, 60s cartoons are 60 years old. A lot of cartoons were. He has a big collection of Stormtrooper helmets, man. I shouldn't judge. I would have those shelves filled with monster masks, but you know, that's just my personal taste. I think that everyone should have exactly my personal taste, and I get angry and testy when I see people. Why would you want that? Those are clearly not the Stormtrooper. That's stuff from prequels and the movies that to me don't even exist. I completely disregard anything prequels. We took a couple weeks off. We're gonna bring you some more a widget. Widget? What the hell is that? Okay, he's just starting. I guess he starts at 7 o'clock every Saturday morning. Let's see when this parade's going to be. So we'll go to Right Side Broadcasting. I'm sure they've got it ready to go. The live stream. They'll tell when it's going to start. It says live. VP Vance attends the U.S. Marine Corps 250th anniversary. Is that what? Celebration. Maybe that's the parade. It looks like it starts at 1:30 in 6 hours. Where is the... let me type in "No Kings" and see what's gonna, if anyone's, maybe some, I wonder what time those people get out of bed. And No Kings protest.
Massive demonstrations are expected coast to coast against the Trump administration this week, and as part of the No Kings protests, and organizers say they expect millions to rally against President Trump's policies. That includes ICE arrests and his use of the National Guard. In Illinois, the Cook County Sheriff's Office arresting at least nine people, over alleged confrontations with police at an anti-ICE protest in the Chicago metro areas. Let's bring the panel back in. John, Marcia, LZ, Jeanette. So, John, Republican leaders are labeling...
Oh, it's ABC. I better be careful because the ABC is the same as Disney, right? So then they're get a copyright claim because they oh my gosh. It says the remote control in my for my Roku, I need new batteries. It's flashing a warning up there. Well, I don't know, man. See what they're saying on this channel.
Thousands of so-called No Kings rallies are set to take place around the country, including many here in Southern California. Big crowds expected to voice their displeasure about the way President Trump is running the country. NBC4's Robert Kovacic is here now with a preview for us. Robert.
And Carolyn, let's give you a reminder. This is a look back not that long ago of the No Kings rallies this past summer. Organizers asking all participants to wear yellow. They say there are 2,500 events that are on tap, and they span all 50 states.
That's why they call it a color revolution. Yeah, well, I think so.
Philly,
I don't know.
DC, and
Yellow. Most.
It was just 4 months ago when No Kings rallies
Okay.
across the country and right here.
Exciting, huh?
No Kings 2.0. The purpose...
Well, I got stuff to do. Is there anything else I can show you? I haven't been buying anything. I don't have money to buy anything. Although I'm going to be making an order from Kevin on Monday or Tuesday when I get paid, and Jeff put $30 down for him. He likes to every so often when he goes into Gotham City, he says, here's $30 for Grottu, because he looks at I guess he looks at, my channel as providing entertainment, and you pay for the streaming channels. He says, I don't like the streaming channels, but I'll pay for him. And that's really appreciated. I love that. Man, you know who I need to talk to is, what is that on the floor there? That's not something good that's been destroyed. No, I don't know what that is, man. Okay. My gosh. Yeah, you ought to consider people don't want to give it a shot. I really enjoyed doing radio DJing, and some people don't want to listen to my fake AI robot music. And that's it. But where else are you going to hear like a surf song about the Doom Patrol? And damn, man, what are these cats up to, man? Okay, so I'll look for Grottu Orloff here on YouTube. There's another facsimile coming out next week of the Action Comics where Supergirl first appears. I'm sure all of you know the exact issue number, but it's something that used to be in my head, but it's been flushed out. Okay, so this was a pretty good video that nobody's watched. It's had the Taco Bell Christmas. I'm wearing the same shirt. Look at that. I have a song about hating Netflix. Sometimes I have to leave, go to the little boy's room. Let's see here. This was the one that had the Space Ghost picture, and it said the Space Ghost Sessions, and no one was watching it. It's got 57 views, so I changed it to Music Explosion and put the Bewitched. Oh, here I am feeding the kitten. Look at that. Nobody got to see me feed the kitten because nobody likes my show. Well, hopefully after I have this cataract surgery, I won't have to be wearing sunglasses inside all the time, because I'm sure people think I'm an idiot, but I don't like it. Just the light's so bright, man. I've been slipping and drinking more Coca-Cola and stuff like that than and Dr. Pepper. Like I'll have like one a day. Sometimes I stopped. I'm back on the unsweetened tea, but I have to admit when I slipped, here's the Dr. Solar theme, also known as Dr. Solar. Yeah, I don't know. And I've got commercials. It's just like a real radio station. Well, I'll let this keep playing, and then it'll show that I have one more view. They don't have 58 views. I don't know. Oh, I gotta take my vitamin. In the morning. The dog's looking at me thinking I have treats. Oh, shit! Well, in the 90s, my friend Tom worked in Hollywood, and he had, I forget the name of some major Hollywood special effects guy he commissioned him to do this sculpture of Ed Gein down here. And he did these busts. He used to, now that's something I need to dust. He sold these through the back of Psychotronic magazine. And that's Steve McQueen from Wanted Dead or Alive. That's not a very good bust, but anyway. Okay, everybody's been fed down here. Now let's take care of this kitten situation. Yeah, I've been watching to see if any of the old gang's been putting up videos on YouTube, and I noticed I was talking to Kevin on the phone yesterday, and I said, I wonder if anyone's put any. And I looked up Strange Life, and he had done a video about Gotham City and the stuff he got from it. And I said, man, he just did a show 18 hours ago about you. And he says, oh yeah, I watched it last night. It's great. And He even had a blimp. He used a pickle floating across his basement, a Gotham City Comics blimp with a pickle. And so I'm in the middle of watching that show, and then Kevin told me that Jambo's been putting up some shows too, and I'm not getting these notifications that people are putting shows up. But as far as I know, I don't know anyone else. Sometimes Saturday night there's auctions. I love comics, and I think that's how I can see Eric Breen sometimes. And I think most people are too busy or maybe too depressed with the state of the world. I think things are going to get better, but I just don't want today to be some day they talk about breathlessly, like January 6th or September 11th. I just hope that no major incidents happen today. That it's what was that guy that coined that expression, nothing burger? I don't know. Okay, we got to get that kitten taken care of. No, the dog's following me. Now I can't see to get up the stairs. Okay. See, the basement, I can shut the door and let the kitten roam free and not have to worry. I haven't really let the kitten interact fully with the other cats or with Drew the dog because she's just too little. Now, last time I was on, I was calling her Charlie. My wife is now almost 100%, if not more than 100% certain that it's a girl. So the cat is now Charlotte. Charlotte the cat. Because apparently when boy cats pee, what was that? Boy cats pee, there's kind of a stream, and girls, it just, I guess you know that from human beings, but that at this particular age, that's about the only way you can tell, even for a vet, whether it's a boy or girl. Anyway, we're up in the comic book room. So that's what people tune in to see is comic books, right? Comic books are just, I like old comics. I like an occasional new comic, but man, I like old comics. I don't like this shit today. All right. Damn it. Oh boy. Let me pause the camera for a moment. All right, we're back. Whoa. Let's get some better music than this shit. fan down. All right, let's get this kitten some exercise. Here comes Charlotte the cat. Now, we're waiting for her ears to completely go upwards. That's a sign that they've gotten to a certain age in babyhood, because their ears are, when they're born, their ears are folded down. Come on over here, Charlotte, because over here is where the light is. Oh boy. Charlotte. For those of you that haven't been watching this channel, and I salute you because that shows that you have good taste. On Tuesday, it'll be 3 weeks since I discovered this kitten crying behind a bush in the front yard. And so we adopted the kitten, and we've been bottle feeding the kitten. Someone told me about 4 o'clock the day before this kitten was crying in front of the house. I didn't hear it, but I heard it that morning about 5:30 in the morning. So the cat's been checked out by the vet twice. They weren't able to tell if it was a boy or girl. They've given us the right kitten replacement milk to feed her. But anyway, so I guess that means that I have 5 animal mouths to feed, in addition to probably a few bats flying around that aren't official pets. Actually, no bat appearances lately. That was a long time ago. This was some fake heavy metal music. I was trying to create some fake Danzig music. It didn't work out. I think I created some pretty good fake ABBA music last night. I typed in Mini Moog. I typed in 1973 pop. I typed in, because you can't say, make it sound like ABBA. They won't, that doesn't work. What else did I say? Swedish voice. I said 2 Swedish female singers. Although, and sometimes it'll understand, layer the vocals. used up all of my credits at Suno.com for the pay plan. You get like an insane amount of songs per month when you pay, but I used them all up already. And then on the 20th, Monday night, I'll be able to have unlimited access again, because I want to see if I can recreate the sound of Les Paul and Mary Ford. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye peeled on where this kitten goes and her exploration. Okay, let's see what we've got here in the. Maybe I can show you some comics to entertain you people. I've got some Classics Illustrated that I need to file. I've got some facsimiles like the ones that Captain Strangelove was showing last night. These are all from that same company, PS Art Books. This is one that Captain Strangelove got and showed last night, or whenever he put up his video. It's Fantastic Fears. Anyway, I've gotten some, and I've got still a handful that are still on hold that I'm going to get soon. That looks like a slightly unauthorized Spirit imitation. Okay. I got some Harvey I need to file. What should I do next? So some Archie. There's some Charlton. Oh yeah, I'm in the process of buying a bunch of Underdog comics from Kevin and stuff. You watch enough of this perverse communist psyop television, like Ed Gein, and apparently the guy that does the Ed Gein series, it's a series called Monster, and every year they do a different serial killer. They've done Dahmer and the Menendez brothers, and they do all this perverse stuff with it, where they make the victims look bad, and I understand the families of the victims of Dahmer are trying to sue, and the Menendez brothers are probably the only killers they've done that are still alive, and they're suing from prison. It's like, you made us look bad. We're mass murderers, but you made us look worse than we really are with your sick John Podesta kind of perversion. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you feel like you got to purify yourself from that nauseating, un-American crap, and I don't know. I just feel like I should watch Popeye cartoons. That's the solution. If I watch enough Popeye cartoons, but you can never forget that you saw what you saw, because these shows are as emotionally scarring. I wouldn't say they're as emotionally scarring as it's like riding along with paramedics for a couple of nights, or I don't know, man. It's just it's exposure to Satanism. That's what it is. There are people in our society that are really into Satanism, and I've never believed in indulging in stuff like that. Yeah, someone last Saturday or Sunday put a comment down below. It's like, for someone that hates demons, you sure do collect a lot of demonic stuff. and I thought, well, you know, I've always pointed out that hypocrisy. If you're a regular viewer, I've always realized, okay, well, yeah, but this is funny books. And I said, well, that's just Netflix. Yeah, but the stuff the stuff that James Gunn's doing, exposed and taking Superman, a movie that kids could watch, and then making the next step having to watch Peacemaker, and then the next Superman movie you have to have seen Peacemaker to understand the new dynamics between whatever his name is that ran the Suicide Squad. I can't remember his name right now. And Lex Luthor, and I don't even know. Yeah, I wish I had a milkshake too. This guy's yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Are they going to continue doing this Svengoolie comic book? I wonder. You guys don't want to see me. You want to see the kitten. What am I doing? The cat pressed the pause button on the screen. I'm surprised. It's amazing she didn't stop it, the video. But anyway. Oh, I need to see. I went to Barnes and Noble on Tuesday when I went to Target, and I went into a spirit store, and I saw a Mars Attacks mask that had a separate chin that was on with a strap, so you could talk, and it would look like you're really talking as the Martian. So there was no tag on it. I asked the guy, "Oh, that's $85." I'm thinking, holy. If it was $20, I would have probably gotten it, even though I shouldn't have spent that. And he says, "Yeah, we've had that mask for 3 years. No one's even looked at it." It's like, well, why don't you knock the price down? I didn't say that. And he said, "We've got a Mars Attacks rifle over there," and he showed me, and it shoots out fog, and that was pretty neat. That was $130. And they had several other Mars Attacks things. A few years ago, they did a Mars Attacks push at Spirit store. I didn't get anything at Spirit. And then I went to a Barnes & Noble, a huge one that had escalators going up to something that was upstairs. And they had the Warrant magazines that Kevin at Gotham City Comics hasn't been able to get those Warrant magazines since issue 26 of Vampirist Carmilla. Because of Diamond imploding, they're trying to find a new distributor, but Barnes & Noble has everything. And they had this new Vampirist Carmilla with a black cover and a Sanhulian cover. It's beautiful. I mean, it looks just like you're looking at Vampirella a new issue of Vampirella from the 70s. And they had about 8 copies, and all of them were so horribly damaged that you couldn't purchase it. I don't know if it was damaged by people I think it was damaged by the people putting it into the magazine rack, or maybe in shipment. I don't know. But the Warrant magazines are more delicate than the original Warren magazines. Oh my God, this music is so. Oh God, I was trying to do an experiment and create some heavy metal double music. It's like horrible. Shit, I gotta stop it. This is not good. I can't stand it. Okay. There's got to be something better. What the hell is that? That's better. Say, have you tried When was the last time you tried Cat's beer, man? Cat's Premium Beer, official sponsor of the Grottu Orloff show, along with Kaboom, the cereal that will put hair on your chest, even if you're a girl. Okay, there you are, you little critter. I'll let you keep going where you want to go. Not a lot. Okay, so let me see what the last issue of Vampirus Carmilla is that I got. I got this stuff that hasn't been filed yet. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a new issue of Comic Book Creator coming out next week, a Dave Stevens issue. So I've got that. Let me put this back into the. Yeah, you gotta get that. And the Supergirl facsimile. Those are the ones I recommend that are coming out next Wednesday. You can look at. Type in Gotham City Comics into YouTube and subscribe to Kevin's channel, because what he'll do is he gets all by Friday night, he has all the new comics that are going to be out next Wednesday, and he does a little YouTube show where he shows all the books that will be out next week, and you can, if there's something you like, you can give him a call and all that. You can get it from him, mail order. But that's what I recommend that you do. But I recently got this issue of Dynamite. Does this have Count Morbida in it? Kind of had to be there in the 70s to understand. This was a magazine that your teacher would hand out the little flyers for scholastic books, and I would always order a Dynamite magazine. This is Count Morbida, this little vampire guy. There's a mask at Target that looks very much like that. It isn't an actual authorized Count Morbida, but it's part of their little retro line, like that werewolf I showed you earlier. That was part of that. Okay, where did that little critter get to? Is he behind me? She? Charlotte? You can't get far. The door to the attic is closed. Oh, she's over here on this side of the box. Okay, there's okay, so this is the magazine Shudder. And this is an attempt to make new magazines like the Warren magazines of the 60s and 70s. This would be equivalent to Creepy or Eerie. And this is Vampirus Carmilla, which is their attempt to do a Vampirella kind of magazine, but it's very, very soft, very delicate. A trained comic collector like me can handle this without damaging it. Any normal person handling this would immediately destroy it. You have to be someone that knows how to handle comics for that. It's a very well done. It looks like Warren never ended. It just Warren had a thicker paper stock for the covers and for the interior, so it just feels very light, but because of that, they're able to sell it for $6.99, which sounds like a lot to me, but it's actually a very inexpensive magazine. Like Castle of Frankenstein, the new revived Castle of Frankenstein, I think that's a $15 magazine. Anyway, so this is very interesting thing, what they're doing. This was Erie. This is a real Warren magazine. See how they recreate the corner box? Sent to me by Shannon recently. It's one I didn't have. There is actually another magazine called, there's Shudder, that's an imitation of Eerie and Creepy, that's coming out from Warren. But there's another magazine coming out called Eerie, but it's spelled differently. And see, it has the same corner box, and it's put out by this particular artist. His name's not coming to my mind right now. Oh, hold on, I'll tell you, this one's not bagged. And anyway, this is it's a new issue of this out. I don't know if this is the new issue or no. Maybe there's a new issue that it's in my pile at Kevin's store that I'm going to get Monday. But anyway, this is Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman does, I think, all the art in this, and he does different styles. It looks like there's different artists in here. This is good, although it doesn't exactly look like Warren as much as the as this does, because Warren never had really full page panels, and but it's pretty darn close. Some of the, it's worth getting. Trust me, I'd let you know if it wasn't. Yeah. And see, here's a real copy of Creepy, and as opposed to the what you would get now in Barnes and Noble, looks like this. Let's see. And of course, they used an old Frazetta painting. Frazetta, unfortunately, is no longer alive, and that was used on Edgar Rice Burroughs paperback. But here you get to see the image bigger, and since there's no new Frazetta paintings being made, you either got to get someone that looks like they can paint Frazetta style or whatever. Of course, back in the 70s, there were other companies doing Warren imitations, like the Skywald Horror Mood Publications Company. So this is wonderful, of course. Why, look, it's Superstar Heroes. And this is from, say about let's see. It's got a Buck Rogers article. May 1979. Boy, that would be real unfortunate to have a Mork from Mork t-shirt. This is, I believe this is put out by the same guy, Erie Publications. Man, my mind's not working tonight. Tonight, it's 6 in the morning, I'm seeing tonight. No, this is put up by Ideal Publishing Corporation. Myra and Foss. Yeah, put out Erie Publications that were real gory imitations of Warren. There was a big superhero space kind of glut in the late 70s. A lot of these little magazines came out. Man, they're even covering Doc Savage in this one. Not long after Superman, the movie, came out. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, they're previewing that there's going to be a Conan the Barbarian movie in '79. And that came out, what did it come out in 81? Or when did that come out? I was in high school. Oh, here's more Vampirus Carmilla in the back. Get these all together. Yeah, he was saying 26 was the last one he got, so I already have that one from Kevin. I don't know, maybe I was looking at, I might have been looking at 27 at Barnes & Noble. And then this is the Fear book. See how she's obviously patterned after Vampirella, but just different enough to avoid copyright infringement. I wish that these people were able to actually do Vampirella. They would do it right. The people that actually own Vampirella now are idiots. This company that does these Vampirella comic books with 40 different covers for each one with little they're terrible. It's nothing like the Vampirella of the 70s. She's got pointy elf ears. It's anyway. These little kittens romping around. That's good. I'm just gonna let her get some exercise. Oh, I guess I should feed her. Let's do that. Last week I fed her, and then I was gonna get her to poop in the sink and pee, because you have to, little kittens, you gotta stimulate them. The mother will lick them and it'll cause them to go. She's almost ready to go past that stage into the litter box, but take a wet little Kleenex or something and just kind of rub down in the nether regions. Then all of a sudden Kevin said, I stopped watching the video when you were about to poop her. I guess people don't want to be seeing that kind of thing, I suppose. But feeding her, I guess I could do that safely. And let's do that, shall we? You know what I haven't done is tried to recreate Martin Denny type music. This is Les Baxter, kind of the same thing, with this Suno.com. There's so many different music genres that are left to explore. All right. I wish I could tell what time it is up here. Does that clock have a battery in it? Let me go look. I don't get up here much because I don't have time, man. I'm always working or don't have any new comics to entertain you with. Oh, what is this box? Oh, more books I have to... Oh, actually, there's a lot of cool books in here. I could actually just start filing. There's a new Fantastic Four facsimile that Jamba was showing and pointing out that originally it had a gray cover and now it has kind of a light blue background on the cover. I don't approve of that. I think facsimiles should look exactly like the original. Otherwise, it's really not a facsimile, is it? And the coloring that Marie Severin did on those Marvel comics of that era, I want to see it faithfully recreated, because I think she doesn't get her due. She doesn't get her due respect for being a big part of that Marvel age of comics. Okay, it's bottle time, man. what I do is I have to restrain her because she'll slash you up. So I use a towel. Well, the rest of the day we're going to be, I don't know. My wife may not be thrilled by this, but I want to watch live coverage of all these No Kings rallies. Okay, all right, so here she is, ready for a haircut. It's spa day. Okay, this way her arms are kind of restrained where she's not going to be slashing at me trying to grab at the bottle. This I remember, I was trying to create dark ride music, like from a carnival. Okay. Let me move the camera a bit. Go ahead. The other two kittens we got back in a while back, maybe 8 months ago. Man, they would get thousands of views, but Charlotte here only gets about 60 to 80 views. I think because I talk about politics, I think YouTube's got me shadow banned. That's what they call it. Wonder who invents these words, shadow banning. Yeah, I don't think they like me to. If I get 3 subscribers, I'll lose 4. And it's like I'm always going backwards a little bit or stagnating at the same level. And most of my viewers are age 55 to 64, I think. And most are maybe 95% male, according to the statistics they give me. So they're about my age and have about the same memories at the same time period as me. Then there was an anomaly for the last month where I was like at 25% of my viewership was age 25 to 34. And I'm thinking, what happened there? I was thinking, oh, those are ex-students that are watching to maybe laugh at me or something. I don't know, because that would have been the right. I don't know, who knows. Then they've disappeared down to 3.4 because I guess I wasn't providing enough entertainment. Yeah, there's no Pokemon content here, so I don't talk about investing in comics. Mostly, I don't think this is a very pleasant channel to watch because mostly I talk about everything that I hate. Well, I talk about everything that I love too. It's just that everything I love is decades in the past. Although there's good stuff today too, I have to admit. The facsimiles are good in the comic book world. There is some good comics being put out. This Geiger universe, not H.R. Geiger, but these comics, yeah, those are good. But I've decided I'm just going to get the collected versions of those. I can't keep up with that. And there's what's good today? There's a tour happening now. It's not coming here locally, but it's going to come like an hour and a half, maybe away from me in November. It's the Suffragettes. They're a band out of Canada. It's an all-girl band that's kind of like the Ventures. And then they've got a girl that they've asked to open for them. This doesn't go down any further, does it? Oh man, this sounds like elevator music, doesn't it? Pretty terrible. Well, I like that part. Anyway, they got this girl that goes by the name Bethlehem Shalom, and she's pretty great too. She's like a more, a less, I can think of her name except when I'm on the air. The girl with the giant beehive hairdo that did the old style music, but was wound up dying of a drug overdose. Man, what was her name? She's kind of like that, except she doesn't look like she's all strung out, and it's like a more innocent version of that. And why can't I ever think of? I could think of her name, except anytime the camera's going. I can't. The one that did the song, they tried to take me back to rehab or something. Even her songs were about, drug use and stuff. I can't remember, but it's anyway. I like old style music. Even in new music, I like it to sound old. Okay, come on, Kate. Okay. Come on. Okay, there you go. Just thinking, I'm glad he stopped talking about all that nerd shit so I can concentrate on feeding. Uh-oh. She is thirsty. Oh my gosh. Come on. Open up. I'm going to take her in the other room and see if I can poop her. Okay, so she pooped and peed. All that is good in life. Pooping and peeing. Now she's strolling around up here in the comic book archive. Yeah, see, this is my G.I. Joe era. Okay, where did the cat go to? She was right there. Oh, she's done here in the bathroom. Come on out there. Let's see how she's walking. Am I recording? Why, yes, I am. Those are air conditioning vents. Why is this fan on, man? I thought I turned that off. Let's put you over here. Let me turn this fan off too. Oh, here's a string she could play with. Let's see if she'll play with the string. Cats love string, right? So much for the string. Oh my gosh. Oh shit. Oh, she's coming back. Sorry about the camera work. Yeah, she's getting warm pretty good here. Charlotte. Charlotte. My goodness. So when are the aliens supposed to arrive? I think Friday? I don't remember, man. I think it was the 29th. That's, the Three-Eye Atlas, right? It's a comet, but a couple of scientists were speculating it could be alien astronauts coming to, maybe it's the arrival of Battlestar Galactica on Earth, huh? Three-Eye Atlas. Man. Well, if I started this about 6:50, oh, hey, you want more milk? Maybe I should. Now that she is peed and pooed, she might be thirsty for some more of that delicious milk. Where'd she go? I didn't know I was in pause. Sorry. I was talking about the Three-Eye Atlas. I don't know if I was in paused or not. I don't know if I was recording or not, man. That's supposed to arrive here in a week. Right here in Rural Retreat, Virginia. The Three-Eye Atlas. I think it'll be Lauren Green piloting it. She wants to move her arms, but come on, just drink your milk. Then you can go roaming. She may be through with the milk. What do you say? Well, come here there. But she's been a real blessing in our lives, coming along 3 weeks ago, and she drank quite a bit of the milk just now during today's exciting episode. I think she's a little scared by the phone as she sees another cat, which I don't know. I've never had a pet that recognizes television until Ambrose, not this cat, that's Charlotte, but Ambrose is the tuxedo kitten that we have we got a while back. Ambrose will watch. If we put a video on YouTube with cats and kittens, he'll watch. And as I see these dogs on YouTube that watch horror movies and they bark at the bad guy, and it's like they're really watching the movie, and I've always thought that's cool. But I've never. Most of the pets I've had, the television screen means nothing to them, which is probably how we should be. You know, if I lived in the hills of Tennessee and I was just sitting around playing bluegrass music today, I wouldn't even be aware of what might happen today. I wouldn't be aware that what's going on in the Ukraine. I mean, I guess you could have been up somewhere and not even known World War II happened. I mean, you could just exist somewhere and not really. We get upset about these things because normal people don't watch the news, or I don't watch the news, but I watch what's going on. I pay attention to my sources, and it's like you could just go through life and be a moron. I guess it would be, there's great bliss in just being a moron that doesn't pay attention to anything. And biggest concern is, well, Bad Bunny's gonna play at the Super Bowl. I wish it was Taylor Swift, man. Maybe Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny can play together and make some great music. How about that? How about those Cowboys? Oh my gosh, they're so great. That's, you just accept whatever music they foist on you. Oh, that's good. I don't know. Instead of seeking out stuff like this. Man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, my gosh, I'm getting fat. Come here, you little kitten, you. Come on over here. Charlotte the cat will be a new addition to this show that you watch. Hey, would you like to get some sun, Charlotte? Let's take you down to the front porch. I don't know if it's going to be a sunny day or not. Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. Let's go see if they've started rioting, the No Kings idiots. I still haven't had breakfast, man. Everyone's eating but me. Look at this lamp. Can you see that? I don't know if you can or not. You see that? We got that at a garage sale. Someone obviously painted it to look like Gene Simmons. And so this lady was running a garage sale, and we were excited about it. And she says, "Oh, my sister did that, or some painted it that way." And we were saying, "Oh, it's so great," and we were liking it so much because it's so funny. She finally admitted she was the one that did it, which, of course, I suspected all along. Sounds like that disc that's in here is back when I was trying to make some fake Barbarella themes. They weren't very good, but so every once in a while you create real masterpieces. Okay, the cat's in the cradle. Is she? Okay, there you are, Ambrose. I'm sorry, Charlotte. Charlotte's in the web. Okay, so I'll turn off these lights, and we'll go downstairs, and we'll see what's going on down there. Huh. Okay. Whoa. Some Santa Claus stuff I should take downstairs since it's Christmas time now, but I don't have an extra hand. Whoa, shit. Okay, we're downstairs now, and the cat is now getting some sun. There's the sun. Okay. Got a lot of stuff to do today. It is 8:32. Well, let's get this to 2 hours, because if I don't make it 2 hours, some people don't like I'm watching it. Oh, let's see if there's any rioting going on. Right now, all the rioters are probably getting egg McMuffins at McDonald's with their money they got from George Soros, and or maybe they're at IHOP if they got enough money from George Soros to fund their rioting. Let's see, where did I put the remote? There it is. There's the last broadcast up there. You know, it looks like I'm playing a theme from Herculoids that I created. You got to watch the Taco Bell Christmas episode. That was good. I'm going to start mentioning Taco Bell in every song that I create. I think it'll be a new good signature. Okay, let's see if anybody's live with. There's a guy named Portland Andy that always is showing live stuff. There's that Carlin Borisenko lady that does stuff like that, and there's Smoke and Scan, I think, is someone that always shows when stuff's going down around. He taps into all the live streams. Let's look and see what's in my feed. Looks like the Saturday Morning Comic Book Memories show is coming up. They've got a thumbnail up. They're showing Rocket Robin Hood on Group Therapy Podcast. This is the same animation studio out of Canada that did the Marvel superheroes cartoons. It's a pretty great cartoon, actually. Yeah, I recommend Rocket Robin Hood if you've never seen it. Has a very Silver Age Comics look to it. John Carpenter's Unmade Creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know that. Okay. That Raymond Castile has a new video up. He put up a few hours ago. I was listening to it while I was in the shower about Dawn Post masks. Monster masks. Let's see what else I have. What is going on? Okay, so I'll put in No Kings. These people are lazy. They don't get up until later to do their rioting. Thousands of nationwide No Kings protests expected. Prominent Democrats join No Kings protest as Republicans. What? Protesters take over Times Square for No Kings March. What to expect at this weekend's No Kings protest? Let's see.
Homeland Security officials are closely monitoring the No Kings protests planned in Austin tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Marin.
And I'm Jennifer Sanders. Governor Greg Abbott has National Guard crews on standby. He says the protests are Antifa-linked, but local protest organizers say that's not the case and they will be peaceful.
This is the second major No Kings protest in Austin this year. Public safety reporter Brianna Hollis.
Maybe it'll be nothing.
Tonight on previous demonstrations.
You're looking at video of the two major protests that happened in Austin in June. The first one on June 9th, a Monday night, specifically spoke out against ICE-related activity in Austin. As crowds moved...
Sometimes they take all their clothes off and ride around on bikes to protest things. They tried doing that in Portland, but it started raining, so a lot of them kept some of their clothes on, mercifully. Okay, this one is live. Oh, somebody's already given a speech. She needs a better microphone.
And I don't stand here just offering nihilism and condemnation. No. The movement for freedom in this moment suggests that we may need to learn more and lean more into the fall.
Okay. Yeah, see, they cut their funding they went to a lot of these groups with the Doge cuts, so they're not going to have as good a microphones, I guess. Here's another live one from CNN, something or other. They're all wearing clothing, thankfully. Thought they were all supposed to wear yellow. Power to the people. Well, that's a retro expression. Oh man, I gotta show you somebody. Enough of these morons. They're not exciting enough. Let me show you this Bethlehem Shalom I was talking about a minute ago. She doesn't have that many subscribers. You guys need to all subscribe to her. It's um,
When I was a girl, I knew there were crazier things out there than me. Now I'm not so sure. I feel that the crazy consumed all that was me. Can it be possible I've been troubled all this time? Sweet glowing moments tailored with a new design. I can't go wrong. You can do it. You can feel it. Please say.
anyway, she's nuts. Um,
Hi, my name's Bethlehem Shalom, and this song is called Rats. Sick of myself, I wanted a job. I fell off a cliff and woke up on your lawn.
and she's opening for the Surfer-Jets.
I wanted love, oh, I needed love most of all. Someone said true love was dead.
I'll show you the Surfer-Jets. Anyway, this is the Bethlehem Shalom channel that you should subscribe to here. That's what it looks like. So then, well, if you come back to the show in about a week, I'll have some interesting things to show you because I'll have an order in from Kevin. I'm going to order it, maybe it'll come early, I don't know when. I haven't ordered it yet, but for those of you that just want to see comics, I could provide that at some point in the future. Okay, but right now, man does not live by comic books alone. But anyway, nobody's got money now. I if you do have money, I question whether you're probably some mobster or something. Anyway, here's the Surfer-Jets. So that would be a hell of a concert to see them with Bethlehem Shalom opening for them. But there's a guy I just discovered that I can't remember his name, but he's some British guy that does some of the funniest songs I've ever heard. And he does them, it sounds just like The Cure. His name is Jim E. Brown. This is him here.
This is Jimmy Brown.
Oh, that's not the actual song. Here's the actual song video. Anyway, this guy is something else, man. I keep forgetting his name. It's such a common name, Jim E. Brown. So I have to type in I urinated on a butterfly to find him. But anyway, his channel has tons of music that he's created, and his shtick is that he's some British alcoholic. You know, that's the role he's playing in these videos, and you know. Reflections on hot dog eating contest. I am at my happiest when I am unconscious. I have a horrible relationship with food. It's just every time I speak, I regret it immensely is one of his songs. He has video, you know, live. There's a song I want to open for Foo Fighters. Here's Fish Fingers. So if you like The Cure and you've got a sense of humor, and you should enjoy Jim E. Brown. Anyway, I've got things to do which are not YouTube adjacent, so I will be. Oh, I can't end at 13 minutes. That's unlucky. I'll end at 14. I'll end at 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 14 seconds. So let me riff for a little bit. So how you guys doing, man? That's great to hear, man. That's fantastic. Who do you think's gonna win in the football game today, man? Oh man, are you kidding me? Their quarterback's no good. I'll tell you what, man. Tell you what. Oh my God, what did you do last weekend, man? Did you do anything great? Did you go fishing? Oh boy. Yes indeed. So watch the No Kings rallies today. That should be fun. And there's going to be a parade. And signing off from the Grottu Orloff show. I'm going to start a new show called The Sophisticate After Dark soon. So be looking out for that. Anyway, so from the House of Cats and One Dog, I'll be seeing you.